Hi guys. I don't even know what to say, but you guys know I have anxiety. I'm not secretive about that. I know people think that it's fake or annoying or whatever the hell they think, but I really could give two shits about what other people think about it. And you know, there's just a point where you get so frustrated. Like, I've talked about different tricks and ways to help, and there's so many different things I think that help, but it just really seems like there's not a cure. Like, it's just something that's always going to affect you. The reason I wanted to do this video was because I told you guys recently in one of my health updates that I have been on this heart medication, and I told you guys that it was like messing up with my legs and stuff, so I got a new one that didn't have that side effect, and that one's been working. Now, heart medication is meant for your heart, and that's what I'm taking it for. But it is supposed to help with the symptoms of anxiety. And I think that it does, but it doesn't completely. I think my anxiety has been, for years now, general. It's been like generalized anxiety disorder. It's all day, every day, pretty much. Like, I'll have moments of nice, happy peace, but nearly every single day I will have some sort of anxiety about something or other. It can be something that's actually makes sense to have anxiety over. It could be something that's completely ridiculous, that makes absolutely no sense. I know for a fact it makes no sense, but there's like no talking yourself out of it because you already know that it makes no sense. And then there's the anxiety that's anxiety of anxiety. I get panicky and scared of having moments of pure panic. And I think that's where mine is the worst at the moment, because I think my heart medication's helping with the everyday stuff. But one thing that's caused my anxiety for a while now is being alone. And when I'm alone at home, I'm fine. When I'm alone somewhere, I don't know, like, I obviously can't describe it, and if you have anxiety, you understand that. It's so hard to describe it, and you know, people who don't have it don't get it, and you want them to understand where you're coming from. You want them to get that's not fake, that you're not making it up, and you can't. It's so hard to get those people to understand, because it seems like you are making it up, because you really can't explain it because it's unexplainable. It doesn't make sense. And today I had a moment of probably the worst anxiety I've had in months. I've had moments of anxiety, you know, times where I'm like in the car and all of a sudden I'll get like a wave of anxiety, but for the most part it's been moving on pretty quickly. It'll be like a momentary lapse, a couple of minutes, and I breathe my way out of it, or I, you know, think like, okay, I'm fine, and that's usually when I'm with other people. I can talk myself out of it. I can say, okay, if something happened, I have a friend here, I have a family member here, I have someone here. But it's when I leave the house by myself, and you know, I'll go 5 minutes down the road and be fine and stuff like that, but today I went maybe 10 minutes down the road. Yeah, 10 minutes. And before I left the house today, I was going to return something at the mall. I haven't been in the mall in ages. Really haven't gone anywhere by myself in a while. Like, I just don't, because I know that I feel anxious. And so I went to go return something, and halfway there well, even before I left the house, I started to feel anxious. And the thing is, I've had other moments where I felt anxious in the past. Kind of, if you have anxiety, you know there's triggers. And I've dealt with that a lot in the past and avoided the triggers, or when I knew I was doing something that I had to do that was a trigger, I would take like a half of a Xanax beforehand to just kind of calm my nerves, to prevent it from getting worse. And usually that helps. It kind of stops it in its tracks and doesn't let it go any further. And I had actually done that yesterday, and it worked, and I felt fine, and I was like, okay, great, like, I just overcame something, I'm doing well. That was yesterday, and this morning I woke up feeling good. I was fine, I ate breakfast, and I got ready to go and return this thing at the mall, and halfway there I just felt, I mean, it's warmer out today. I could have something to do with it because I'm very sensitive to heat, but it's not that warm. And halfway there I was driving, and I felt like a wave of anxiety. It's like you got in the ocean, you get smacked with a wave, but it's like a wave of panic. And I turned around on the highway, not like dangerously, like I made a legal U-turn, and then the next light I was at, I could make another U-turn, or I could just go home. And I thought, I just drove halfway here. I'm gonna be so annoyed at myself as soon as I get home, because I'm gonna feel totally fine and then not want to go back out to go to the mall. So I made another U-turn, I went back toward the mall, breathed my way through the driving, and parked. And when I parked, I just kind of sat in the car for a few minutes with the air blasting, because when I get anxious, I get like on fire. And I just sat there and thought, okay, you know what, how many times have you gone to the mall, walked through this entrance, went to the store, returned, and left within 5 minutes? You're totally fine, nothing is gonna happen. And I know that, like, I'm such like a realistic person, and which is why anxiety pisses me off so much. I was like, literally, the store is 2 stores into the entrance, oh my god, just go. So I powered through, I walked in. As I was walking into the door, I was like, okay, I can do this, I'm feeling fine, I can do this, it's gonna take 5 minutes tops. I go into the store, get in line, there's like only 2 people at the registers, no one behind them, like I'm the next. And For me, I've told you guys in the past, I get really anxious waiting in line, whether there's one person in front of me, whether I'm the person being checked out. Like, it's really weird. But so I'm waiting in line, takes maybe 30 seconds for the person in front of me to go, and during that 30 seconds I can feel my heart rate getting higher. I have my Fitbit, it's telling me my heart rate is up to 115, and it should be. I'm standing still, especially since I'm on heart medication, and I get in line, go up to the guy, give him my stuff, and by the second he starts bringing everything up, I start to feel so anxious, panic attack anxious. I felt hot. I could have sworn my lips went completely pale. I felt like I was gonna pass out. I was like sweating and clammy, and the thing is about anxiety is that that's how I felt, but I'm sure no one around me in the store could see that I was feeling that way. The guy for sure had no idea, and that's what's kind of annoying about it. Not that I wanted them to know, but it's kind of scary because you know you're in this alone. And that's what the problem I think is with me. I mean, I think it's something about being alone. I don't know. But then I also have a fear of like dating, so that makes a lot of sense. But in that moment, I actually had to, like, I felt so rude. I actually had to ask the guy, like, can we make this as fast as possible? Like, I felt really bad saying that, but I just couldn't help it. And he was fast, he was really nice, but in that moment my anxiety just started from my stomach and started like rising and rising and rising. I literally felt like I could have passed out at any moment, and that's just such a scary feeling when you know you're by yourself. Literally from the moment I was in the car and turned around the first time to the moment that I was in the store was maybe 15 minutes total, but to me it felt like 3 hours. I felt like I was suffering, and like, I don't understand why anxiety exists. It's so not fair. I don't know if it's because I couldn't leave at that point. Now that I had handed him my stuff, I couldn't just like walk out without my money back, you know what I mean? So I mean, I could have, but I wouldn't have wanted to do that. So I waited and I did it, and it was fine, and it went really quick. And then from the moment I walked out that store to go through the mall to leave, I must have like sprinted. I wasn't sprinting, but I was like power walking super fast. Got to my car, sat down, and just burst into tears because the moment I got back into my car, I felt completely fine. And I don't know if it's from the Xanax I took earlier finally kicking in, or what I'm thinking is before I've ever even taken Xanax in the past, when I felt those anxious moments, the second I knew I was leaving, the second I knew I was going home, it immediately went away. I mean, I've had such bad anxiety in the past, like making plans with people, like going to parties, things like that, and the second I cancel on them or tell them like, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it, the anxiety goes away, and I'm like, oh, I could have went. But then I know that if I was actually going, the anxiety would have been that bad. If you have anxiety, I'm hoping that you understand what I'm saying, but that's what's so crazy. The second I knew I was leaving, the second I knew I was in the car, safe, in my space, I felt fine. I was frustrated as hell, but I didn't feel anxious anymore. Like, the anxiety just washed away the second I got into the car. And I got so frustrated, I just like sat there and cried, because it's not fair that I should be suffering like that, you know, just to do an everyday activity. That's not even an activity, it's like a basic task. If I can't just go to the store to return something that takes 5 minutes by myself without feeling that way, what can I do in life? Like, no wonder that I don't want to work out of the house or make plans with people, because I don't know when this feeling is going to hit me. And although I know for a fact everything's going to be fine, although you're aware of the fact that none of this makes sense and that there's no reason, but I can't do anything about it. Like, there's no way to get out of that. And it just really pissed me off, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm in this point in my life where I want to do more, I want to be successful, I want to settle down and get married and have kids and stuff, and I'm thinking, how am I going to ever do any of those things? How am I going to take care of a child if I can't even go return something to the store? And I know some people would watch this and think, oh, you're just your baby, like, you're complaining first world problems, blah blah blah, and they would say mean things, and those are the people who I think would, like, they're lucky enough to have never dealt with anxiety, dealt with someone who has anxiety, and I get how hard it is for my friends and my family to deal with the fact that this is something that I'm dealing with, but it's just not fair. Like, it's really not. And I know life isn't fair, but like, just for the basic things, like, there's enough of bad stuff that I've been through that I should be able to do basic everyday tasks without struggling like this. And the feeling is just so terrible. Like, I can't imagine a worse feeling. I've been in pain from cramps. I've been in pure, like, deadly pain that made me puke. That was terrible. And anxiety is worse. because those things are pain, like they're actual pain. You know why they're happening, you know, there's kind of some kind of a reason. But when you're having this pure panic and there's no reason for it, it's not like you're claustrophobic and you're in a room and there's no windows and you feel claustrophobic. But when it's anxiety over nothing, like there's literally no reason for me to feel that panicky in that moment other than being so scared of being panicky. Like that's what it was. And it's annoying and frustrating and it's not fair. Like I shouldn't have to be dealing with this. And it makes you wonder like what you did wrong to deserve that you have this and other people don't, and you wonder if anyone else could possibly imagine what it feels like to not be able to just do everyday tasks. Like no wonder that I'm like a hermit and I don't ever want to leave my house, because this anxiety is like torture. It's like you never know when it's gonna hit, and that's what's so bad. It's so spur of the moment, so there's nothing I can do to prevent it. And usually after you have like a real anxiety attack, you feel a lot better. Like the moment it's over, you're like so relieved. You don't think that life could ever get any better. You're tired because it takes so much out of you, but it feels it's like such a relief. And that's how I feel now, and that's what pisses me off almost, is that I'm fine. I'm completely fine now, and so I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad that I went and completed my task that I wanted to do, but I can't think of it as a pat on the back, good job, you went and you did it, congratulations, you survived. Like that's not the way that someone with anxiety's brain works. It's not, okay, I made it through this, I can do it forever, I can do it again, because it's so random, because it's such a spur of the moment thing. I can't think that way, because that's not what happened. I just get frustrated and I'm like, I should have been able to have that experience and go and return something without having anxiety and freaking out. If you're afraid of roller coasters and you go on a roller coaster and you're like, oh my god, I faced my fear, woohoo, wonderful. That's not how I am. Whether it's a fear like a roller coaster or a plane or something, like that's not the type of person I am. I'm not like, okay, now that I've done it, I can do it again, I'm fine, I faced my fear, it's gone. That's not what it is for me, because it's so spur of the moment. That fear, that panic takes over in a moment that you should be feeling fine, that you're totally normal. Once you get into that moment, you can't control it. And it might be 30 seconds long, it might be 5 minutes long, but once you're in it, it feels like an eternity. It feels like it's never ending, even though you know in your like rational brain like this is gonna last for a few minutes, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna go about your rest of your day, rest of your life, everything's fine, nothing bad is gonna happen. Your brain shuts that rational part down in those moments, and it's not fair. I'm not sure what the point of this video was other than to complain to you guys, but hopefully, you know, if you deal with this, you feel like you're not alone. It's been a rough day and it shouldn't have been. And if I could have one wish other than like, you know, world peace and fixing all of the dumb crap that's going on in the world right now, which is I'm sure is making everyone's anxiety go through the roof, it would be to just rid the world of anxiety completely. It sucks. Like nervousness is fine. Nervousness for a first date or, you know, going on stage, but when it goes above and beyond and gets in the way of your life, that's when it's a problem, and that's how it is for me. I can't get an office job. I can't go places every single day. I can't make plans, and I can't do so many things because of my anxiety. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's because you're saying you can't, it's because you're giving into it, but I'm not. That's the thing, is I've tried to go above and beyond. I've tried to face my fear, and it doesn't work. If you understood the panic that I have in those moments, if someone else could feel that, like, I would not wish that on anyone. I don't want people to feel that way, but if they did, I think they would understand. Like I think that anyone who has suffered with anxiety that is so overwhelming, and that fear and that panic, definitely understand like why you would cancel plans and why you can't do things, because that fear, although it, you know, rationally it only lasts for a few minutes and it's gonna go away and you're gonna be fine, in that moment there's nothing you can do, and in that moment you feel like you're gonna die. It is such an excruciating feeling, and oh, it's just so awful. Oh, it's so awful. Oh god. So thanks for watching this horrible rant video, but subscribe if you want to see more from me, hopefully in a more upbeat tone. Bye. By the way, while I'm vlogging, I just thought I would show you this. I got this sent to me from Glossier the other day, and you guys know I work with them, and it's their updated or unlimited, oh my god, I can't speak. Their BalmDotCom, which is their lip balm. It's kind of a salve, you can use it all over, but they have a new scent, and it is Birthday Balm, which is like a birthday cake. I think they worked with Milk, the Milk Bar famous birthday cake flavor. And so it looks like this. It's like a bit more sparkly and stuff than their original one. And oh my god, it smells so good. And it's not overwhelming. Sometimes when I first heard, I was like, ooh, birthday cake is gonna be so sweet and kind of like overwhelming, kind of like a sickly vanilla, but it doesn't. It smells amazing, like a natural vanilla, like a birthday cake. I just wanted to throw that out there in case you were interested or you like didn't like the other smells. Coconut one is my favorite. They also have SPF out now if you've been looking for a good face SPF, and it's completely clear, so it doesn't leave that like white cast. It's not oily or anything. So if you were just curious about some new Glossier products, that's just some information I wanted to throw at you, although that has nothing to do with this video. But if you are interested in Glossier, you can use my link below and get 20% off your first order and free shipping over 30. So thank you so much for watching again. Bye.